نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم. This is the month of taqwa, to learn taqwa. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentioned, we have been listening this since the very first day, that Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kutiba alaykum as-siyam kama kutiba ala alladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. So you can learn taqwa. This whole month is a training session to learn taqwa, to control ourselves. Now, what is the definition of taqwa? The definition of taqwa is that one in his journey of life should save himself from losing trust of Allah and people. That he should not do khiyanat in the trust of Allah, and should not do khiyanat, should not lose trust in terms of people, without violating the trust of Allah and people, should finish the journey of his life. This is taqwa. Now, so it has two dimensions. One dimension is with me and with Allah, and the second dimension is with me and people. I have to save myself from both dimensions. I should not violate the trust of Allah. I should not violate the trust of people. This is taqwa. On this taqwa, there are many promises of Allah. But now, just surah we recited tonight is Surah Ankabut. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He, in the very first ayat, He says, Alif Lam Mim ahasiban nasu an yutraku an yaqulu amanna wa hum la yuftanun. That people have think that by just saying that we have brought Iman, they are going to be left and they will enter into Jannat and they are not going to be tested. No. Allah will test you with both dimensions. You will have an opportunity to violate the trust of Allah, and Allah will see, are you going to violate or not? You're going to have an opportunity to violate the trust of people, and Allah will check you, are you going to violate or are you going to save yourself? All life long this is going to happen. All life long. That I'm going to get opportunities. In one another surah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He was in the surah in which He gives commandments about Hajj. So those who have went for Hajj, those who know the theory of Hajj, they know once you put on ihram, you cannot hunt. You cannot hunt any animal once you get into the state of ihram. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentioned that La taqtulu sayda wa antum harum. You should not hunt any animal while you are in haram and while you are in the state of ihram. Then Allah says, I'm gonna bring the hunt, the bird, very close to you. Rimahukum, you're gonna be really, it's gonna be really easy for you to hunt it. You can just use your arrow or use your spear and hunt it. But I'm gonna watch you. لِيَعْلَمَ اللَّهُ مَن يَخَافُهُ بِالْغَيْبِ. I want to see who fears me without seeing me. This is taqwa. Now, why am I mentioning this tonight? Just 2 nights before we read this ayat, and it stuck in my mind. And somebody asked me a question today, a very dear friend of mine. So I was answering him. So I thought, this is the month to learn this. So I should share it with everyone. Umar radiyallahu anhu, when he became Amirul Mu'mineen, he was in his majlis, he asked Ka'b Ahbar radiyallahu anhu. Now, Umar radiallahu anhu himself is not a small companion. He also has a great state. He is Khalifa Thani, right? So you can imagine the state of his knowledge, how much knowledgeable he is going to be. And even after this much knowledge, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said to this extent that if there would have been a Nabi after me, it would have been Umar. So you can imagine how much knowledge a prophet should have. He is saying that he has this much knowledge, this much wisdom. After all of this Amirul Mu'mineen, the Shaykhul Mufti of the time, he is asking another Sahabi, whose name is Ka'b Ahmar radiallahu anh. He said, Ka'b, do you know what is taqwa? Do you know what is taqwa? Now look what is the answer of Ka'b radiallahu anh, the way he explained it. Subhanallah. He said, Amirul Mu'mineen, have you ever walked through a thorny pathway? A pathway on which there is thorny bushes all over the place, all over the sides. How do you walk through it? How do you walk through it? He said, I will protect my clothes from all four sides. I'm going to be so careful, so cautious that no thorn should prick in my clothes. He said, this is taqwa. Yeah. While walking that pathway, am I going to be unaware for a single moment about myself and about my clothes? I'm not going to be unaware. I'm going to be totally aware, from where the thorn will prick. This is taqwa. Now the thorn can come from Allah and the thorn can also come from people. When there is an opportunity to look at haram, this is a thorn. This is a thorn. When there is an opportunity to listen something haram, to say something haram, this is a thorn. Now, what interesting thing is, I want to say, and then on the other side, when a person with a bad behavior interacts with me in a bad way, that is also a thorn. Now, what happens when a thorn pricks? What should I do? Should I start fighting back to the thorn? If I start fighting back with the thorn, what will happen? 2-3 more thorns will prick. The only way is that as soon the thorn pricks, you take out the thorn and you start walking. It will hurt, for sure it will hurt for a bit. But when you will not fight back, when you don't interact with it more, you're going to be safe from more, at least. Understand? Same way, what happens? We watch one bad video. As soon you remember, you should back off. But what do we do? Let's watch one more. one more, and that's how 3 hours pass by. And then later on we regret, oh, what I have done. We listen to one thing wrong, and one more. Same way with the people. Somebody interacts with me with a bad behavior. Now I have two options. Either I just take this thorn out and I walk, or either I can argue with him again. I can answer him. The way he interacts, the way he showed me his bad behavior, now I also show him with my bad behavior. This is what is going to happen. I'm fighting with the thorn. So more thorns. The more I'm going to say back, the more he's going to say back. The thing is going to get even worse. So 2-3 thorns are pricked now. So my dear brothers and sisters, this is taqwa. This is why, last thing I'll say tonight. Allah. Like the other day I was mentioning with everyone that how carefully we take the scientific research and how much belief we have in it. That if a scientific research tells me that this thing is harmful for me, I will not even go near it because I know the harms of it. The things Allah has prohibited upon us, the things Allah have prohibited upon us, it is not to benefit Allah. It is not that is gonna, if I'm not gonna commit them, Allah's treasure is gonna increase. Or it's just voluntarily Allah have told me that it is good if you don't do it. No, every single thing which is prohibited from me is filled with harms. Filled with harms. Every time when I look at haram, it kills my soul inside. It eats my soul inside. We are so addicted to it that we have no idea without looking at haram what life it is. We have no idea. Same way with the bad behavior. When somebody curses us, when somebody behave bad with us, we have no idea. We think if I'm not gonna answer, I'm gonna lose. This lost has win in it. When you stay quiet, the greatest answer is to be quiet. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us tawfiq. So that's why we need to ask Allah, oh Allah, grant us taqwa. And we need to understand what really taqwa is. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. Wa salamun ala al-mursalin walhamdulillah.